This is the second in a series of 6 tutorials where we will discuss the 6 basic principles of spiritual practice. Now, at the outset, please do refer to our earlier tutorial, An Introduction to the Basic Principles, to understand the importance of these principles. The second basic principle states that in our spiritual practice, we have to go from many to one. And the results of our efforts are far more powerful when we concentrate all our efforts on the one instead of the many. Let's try to understand this principle with a couple of analogies. Which is more effective and likely to access the waterbed? Digging one well to access the water, which is 10 meters deep, or digging 10 wells of 1 meter each? From the perspective of getting a free ticket, which is better? Accruing frequent flyer miles from various airlines or sticking to just one airline? You've probably guessed right, as the answers are quite simple. Digging a well of 10 meters deep is more likely to get water, and accruing frequent flyer miles in one frequent flyer program is more likely to get you a free ticket faster. Let's now apply the same principle to the various generic paths to God and see how our perspective and actions would change. If we were to look at this principle in the path of action, which is Karma Yoga, then at a lower spiritual level, the student of spirituality would be stuck in the world of many. This would mean giving donations to various charities and devoting time and effort for various causes. But at a later stage, the seeker graduates to focusing on just one cause. This is the cause that is most righteous and that will be most effective for his spiritual growth. To learn about the path of action, please do visit our website. If we were to look at this principle in the path of knowledge, that is Jnana Yoga, then at a lower spiritual level, a person would be studying various spiritual and religious texts. But finally, the seeker sticks to the one text that has the most spiritual truth in it and puts into practice what is advised. Initially, a person following the path of devotion visits many holy places and reads many books of holy verses. But as the seeker progresses in his path of devotion, he finally settles on visiting just one place of maximum spiritual purity and reading one book of holy verses, which helps to bring out the highest spiritual emotion and devotion. Initially, a person following the path of chanting chants various names of God or names of various deities, but later he focuses on chanting one name of God or the name of the deity that is most conducive for his spiritual progress. Initially, a person following the path of the Guru's grace visits a number of saints and follows guidance from various sources. But later, as he matures in his spiritual practice, the seeker focuses and is devoted to just one guru or spiritual master. To begin with, a person has a variety of interests and identities in his life. But when he starts spiritual practice and starts experiencing its benefits, his interest in the various other activities slowly begins to reduce. And as the seeker progresses spiritually, he begins to channelize all his efforts to achieving his spiritual goal. Slowly he begins to steer clear of activities that are not aligned to his spiritual goal. Also, from the various identities that he has, such as I'm a father, I'm a brother, or I'm an executive in this company, he slowly grows to identify with only one identity, that is being a disciple. When he finally comes to the stage where his entire efforts are focused on realizing the one, that is God, God bestows upon him the sixth sense ability to experience the one in many. By the one in many, we mean the same God principle or the soul in many. After being graced with the experience that the God within one is the same as the God within others, one experiences an all-pervasive spiritual love or love without expectation for humanity and creation. This is one of the key attributes of a spiritual master. If you're doing any form of spiritual practice, please do reflect as to whether it embraces this second principle. Are you going from many to one? That's all for this presentation. Thank you for joining us.